Log into gyroscopeme.com, the hottest online radio station in the world. GS Radio all day, all night, worldwide. Powered by Gyroscope Media Group, LLC.
GS Radio, the best internet radio station worldwide. Providing the best in music and talk shows. Go to www.gsradionj.com and check out the best internet station in the world. You're listening to GS Radio Internet Radio Station powered by GMG LLC.
In the beginning there was Jack, and Jack had a groove. And after a while, a deep sleep fell upon him, and he was looking for a new groove. He began looking for a new nation, and it had to be a soulful nation. And he found it, and it was Soulful House Nation. And he saw a building. It was a tall building. It had 10 stories. And he entered the building and got on the elevator and pushed the 10th floor, but it stopped on the 8th floor. And that's where he found his new groove. And he began to jack and jack and jack and jack. And he knew that this was it. It was Soulful House Nation on the 8th floor. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I am DJ Dan Soulful House Nation. I'm coming to you live from the 8th floor. I am the unusual suspect. This is Soulful House Nation. We got another one, ladies and gentlemen. We got another one. It's going to be a big one here. I'm going to do just a few little things, and I also want to introduce my co-host, the hostess with the mostest. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do right here is we're going to play the hottest song according to Track Source. Then we're going to talk about what's coming. Then we'll play a classic. And we're going to have our special guest, DJ Pleezer. That's right. It's like that here. And after that, we're going to do the Shazam Free Zone. Shazam Free Zone, we play nothing but brand new house music. So if it's been played, it's probably not going to be, if it's not brand new, it's not going to be played in this segment here. Just a few people I want to acknowledge. I'm going to say posthumously, Chuck Roberts, you know, of In the Beginning There Was Jack fame. You know, I was on a call with a gentleman not too long ago, and I recently found out that he passed. The second thing is I want to acknowledge is King T Finesse and Ariel Shante. Are the ones that put together. They're the ones that do the song, our theme song, the Soulful House Nation theme song. And then, too, just want to let you know you can find us in a bunch of places. We're on, of course, Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're on Vimeo. We're on X. And we're on Twitch. And then, plus, ultimately, we're going to be on a whole bunch of other places, too. Spotify, just a whole bunch of other places. So you'll be able to check us out on multiple formats. Oh, the website. And just want to say thank you to everybody. We're getting between 2,500 and 3,000 live views every week between all different platforms. And then when it's posted, people start sharing it, we're going upwards of those numbers. So thank you very much to the general public. The number one song, according to Track Source this week, is Never Surrender by DJ Fudge, Hetty, Ben Ramden, and Sarah Summer. And as usual, I'm going to play a little snippet because, Facebook has this nasty, nasty little habit of shutting us down and muting us out. So, Chuck, can you just play just a snippet of it? It's called Never Surrender. Fade it out because Facebook has this nasty little habit. So listen, just a few things I just want to acknowledge. Anaya, new music. Anaya Weathers has a new track out called "Lost in Your Beat," and it hasn't even been released yet. And we have it here on Soulful House Nation. King T Finesse, the person who put together with our our theme song, Soulful House Nation, has a new track out. It's called Paradise, and Moon Blue is on the vocals. So we have that, and then DJ Disciple put out another dope track and he did that with Masaki Mori, and Masaki Mori did stuff. He did a track called Organ Ride. When the first time I heard it, I was on that. I'd say at least 2 or 3 years ago. But also too, he's done a lot of stuff on King Street Records, and he did stuff with Aaron K. Gray, so he's a dope producer out of Japan. And for those who didn't know, Japan is popping too with the house music. And then of course, our special guest is DJ Mitch, and my special co-host is Annette, the hostess with the mostest. Anyway, so let's do this. I want to just also make a couple other announcements. Somebody has a birthday coming up. I'm not going to mention any names. Maybe she should mention that. Then on the 21st at Dolce's, there's another party. There's another event. So that's happening, and that's going to be Shawanda's 55th birthday, the double nickel, and she's going to have a host of great people there. So you want to check that out. So anyway, somebody's going to have a birthday coming. This person will be turning 26 on her next birthday. So can I get the hostess with the mostest to just tell us about your upcoming birthday and what you got going on?
Oh my goodness, I haven't been 26 in so long. Oh my goodness.
Stop playing. All right. All right. Okay.
Thank you, darling. My birthday is coming up. It is on the 17th, and I will be celebrating my birthday at Dolce's on the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about that. Very excited to be turning 26.
Yes.
What if?
What a thrill,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Fantastic.
58 is great, baby. 58, great.
Okay, now. All right, now. All right. All right.
Yes.
So listen, let's get to the part of the show we've all been waiting for. The People Pleezer, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody give a big round of applause. I'm going to say this once. I'm going to try to say it fast 5 times, and then we're just going to go back to Pleezer. Here we go. All right, here we go. DJ Mitch, People Pleezer. DJ Mitch, DJ
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, they say practice makes perfect. Ladies and gentlemen.
People Pleezer.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Good.
How are you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Not complaining. I'm not complaining.
Okay.
Nobody got it anyway.
Not at all.
Right. Well, we're gonna get started off with the easy stuff, and tell us a little bit about you for those who haven't met you.
Like you said, DJ Mitch, People Pleezer. Been on BLS 14 years. Been in this game for over 30. So I'm kind of well seasoned a little bit. Seasoned.
Mm-hmm.
Like a little bit of everything. House, hip hop, R&B, country, you name it. I try to play it.
Okay.
That's about it. I'm real simple guy. Real simple guy.
Now, where are you from originally? Where are you from originally, and then where are you from now? Put it that way.
The CC. That's originally from Harlem.
Okay.
Long Island.
Okay.
Queens.
Okay.
So yeah, I made my rounds.
All right.
I made my rounds.
That's why you make the borough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Triborough or something like that. Anyway, DJ Triborough. Anyway, so how did you get started with music?
You know what? It's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just fell into music. Going to parties back in the day, for some strange reason, I always gravitated to the DJ.
Interesting.
I would always, females, you want to dance? Nah. I'm just staring at the DJ and seeing, what he's doing and like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I got hooked on it. And my brother, of all people, went out and bought my first pair of turntables.
What'd you get?
And actually, Technic B1s. which I still have.
Okay, all right.
And that's pretty much how it got started with me. It was just one of them things where I wish I had a good story. Oh, this. It was just one of them things that the DJ, for whatever reason, I was just fascinated on what he was doing. And it just hooked me.
Okay. Listen, I had the SL. Well, the first pair of Technics turntables I had were the SLB ones, and then I got the SLD ones. I thought I was saying
D1s,
something.
yes,
and then I went to the 1200s, and that was that.
And that's where we've been ever. That's it. That's it.
Now, you know what else, too, is interesting is that you have hip-hop in your background, too. And I could tell you, every person I ever interviewed that has done anything with house has hip-hop in their background. Huh?
Starts out hip-hop.
Yeah, it's hip-hop's, it's like that's kind of like the, I don't know, you got to cross over that not hurdle.
Yeah, it seems like, hip-hop is the birthplace for you. You had to go through that phase, and for whatever reason, it led you to house.
Right. Yeah. Now,
All connected.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Now, how about early music influences? Who were some of your early music influences?
Artist-wise, I was into groups, the bands, Earth, Wind & Fires.
Okay.
The Kool and the Gangs, the Ohio Players, Lakeside. Yeah. I'm a big band person. For me, with songs, and it's to this day, it's the same thing. As long as the track is hot, I really don't care what the vocals. I really don't care what the vocals are saying because I can put something on top of the track.
Okay. All right.
So with me, it's always been the music first.
All right. Let's park.
So it's always been bands.
Okay. Let me park there for just a moment because you triggered something in me that I've had conversations with on multiple occasions. So I would talk to people and they would say to me, well, I'm not into hip hop. No. They would say, you know what? I don't listen to hip hop because of the lyrics. I said, and I've said on many occasions, you just said it. I said, let me clear something up with you. See, you're on the impression it's about the lyrics. Well, if the track is not hot, we don't care what you have to say.
Thank you.
And that's the number one draw to it.
That's it. You can say what you want about lyrics, but at the end of the day, the lyrics ain't getting you to bump in your head.
That's right.
Ain't getting you to snap your fingers. It's the track. Right. It starts with the track.
That's right. Absolutely.
Today, lyrics and hip hop today, what are they saying?
You don't even understand. But you know what? Taking that, you don't understand the word that they saying. But if it's a bumping beat,
right,
you'll ride with it. You'll go with it.
Hey, now here's a fair question. All right, since she said that, are you becoming your parents? Now listen to this. So my dad said to me, so my real name is Danny. Danny, what in the world? I can't understand. Oh yeah, the boom, 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 boom. And I can't tell you how many times he threatened, because I lived above them, and I had the music banging. I don't know how many times he threatened to come and break up the system and throw it out the window. All you can hear is boom, boom, boom. And now I'm gonna show you something else too. Now here's something most people have never thought about. And a lot of people said they didn't like the lyrics because they were so explicit, this and that. But if you think about it, lyrics have always been explicit, save for their time. I want you to think about this for a minute, all right? So, they had some problems with Elvis, who got his music from our culture and his way of dancing. But here's the other thing. Listen to a very, at least today, innocent-sounding song, Under the Boardwalk. Now, what were they doing under the boardwalk? Were they playing chess?
That is true.
What were they doing? Let's see. Were they playing chess? Were they playing hopscotch? Whether they I mean
find the color.
Huh? Yeah, they were out of the sun. They were getting it in.
That's
so
true.
Anyway. But go back to what you said. Yeah, if the track is bumping, we're on it. I don't know what he said, but listen, I'll give you one last example. We'll move on. So I listen to a lot of the Afro house tracks.
Yes.
I have no idea what this guy's talking about, or lady. And especially if they do it in their native language. And I say, well, listen, I don't know what he's saying, but he sounds like he means it.
And you're right along there with him, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So.
Reggae, same way.
Yes.
Reggae, same way.
Yes.
You can even take Spanish, bachata, salsa, all like that. Same thing. You have not a clue on what they're saying. But you know what? If it's banging, you with it.
That's right. And that's it. And that is so true. I mean, yeah. Believe me, I have no okay, so I could recognize that they said senora or senor or okay. Some words here, but but as far as what that song is about, absolutely not. No clue.
Not a clue.
But the track is
right. You with it. You right there with him.
I love salsa.
Me too.
Love it.
Me too. And yeah. Now, how about early DJ influences?
Jazzy Jeff is the god.
Who?
Jazzy Jeff.
Oh, Jazzy Jeff. Okay, got you.
God
got
to
you.
me.
Oh yeah.
Marley Marl. It's going to start with all pretty much hip hop DJs, and then I advance to the Larry Levans, of course, the Tony Humphreys.
Right.
Those are the people who pretty much set the table for me.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And like DJs today that I listen to, pretty much everybody on the radio on BLS.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from the Quars to, of course, Marley's, Bent Rocks.
Right.
But and those are the cat Miss IDs. I'm a big thing for female DJs now.
Oh yeah.
Like I think they are the next big thing.
Mm-hmm. That's
They
right.
are.
And
I tell everybody, guy DJs are a dime a dozen.
yes.
If you get a dope female, like hold on to her because you know she's definitely setting the trend on way I think things are going.
Say the one for time for all the female DJs out there.
That's right. That's right.
Right
Got
now.
that right.
So with that being on the table, why do you think, like, so this, not this Saturday, but last Saturday I went to Alice's birthday party. Place was packed, dope party. She had an all-female lineup for her 70th birthday, and we were banging hard in there. I mean, we were like banging hard, like hurting banging hard. I mean, why, from your perspective, because you see a lot, why do you think that we just don't get the love with the female DJs, the lady DJs? What's your thoughts on that?
Say it again.
I said, you know, with all the banging DJs out there, and like I said, I just came from one with an all-female lineup. I mean, what's your estimation of why we don't have enough, or we don't have, and it's like here and there compared to all the ladies available? What are your thoughts?
At the end of the day, it's a boys' club.
Okay.
It really is.
Okay.
Pleaser.
Okay. Yeah. So
that's just the way it is. I think a lot of promoters will look at a guy first. Put it this way, I think the promoters will look at a guy have to jump through less hoops than a female DJ would have to jump through to get the gig. And I think that has a lot to do with it. When, like I say, it's a lot of dope DJs out there that will mix so many people under the table. Yet they just don't get they don't have the platform that a lot of guys do.
Yeah. You know, I got to tell you, like, such a good point. And you know, so I say it with love, but most of the events, it's the usual suspects. And when I mean that, I say that lovingly, because you got to be that guy, no reference to man or woman, to become one of the usual suspects.
Correct.
Meaning that you've proven yourself typically over time, and people know what they're getting. It's like if you go to McDonald's, it's like, or Subways or whatever. You know what you're getting.
Correct.
You know they're gonna bring it.
You know the menu. You don't even have to look at the menu. You know I wanted number 2.
Okay. 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 So, one sec. Do you need me to do anything? Okay. So yeah. Now watch this. This year in Jersey, you're gonna have at least 400 events. I mean, 100 events. At least 100 events. You're gonna have at least 4 people on each event. At least 4 DJs. So that's 400 slots. And I will suggest to you, 80 to 90% are gonna be the same DJs. And there's very, very little room for, like me, the unusual suspect. And I'm not mad at them, because you know what? That's their format, their time, their energy, and their money, and they're gonna make their best judgment of who they believe is gonna deliver for them. And you know, they don't need to or have to take a chance on someone who's not a proven performer. So I just see that happening again. I don't know. Again, I'm putting this out there to both of you to say, what are your thoughts on that? You know?
I missed it because.
Yeah, I missed it too.
We all left the meeting.
Okay, all right. So listen to this. All right, I said that. So did you hear what I said about? Okay, so let me just say the whole thing again. So, you know, you talk about that. If you look, for all intents and purposes, and I say it with love, that most of these events are DJ'd by the usual suspects. And I say that with love because you got to bring it to be one of the to get into the usual suspect class. And now for me, like one of the and I call myself the unusual suspect because I haven't made it to that level. And it's not necessarily whether you can play or whatever, but again, if you go to McDonald's, you know what you're getting. If you and not to say in a negative way, but when you bring on the usual suspects, you know what you're getting. You know they're going to deliver. You know there's a certain standard. You know they're going to pull. You got all those kind of things working for you. Where you get, you know, Billy Bob on, and Billy Bob might have the goods, but how many people are going to come out because of Billy Bob? So that's what you're up against. So I'm just going to finish this last part, but I'm only saying this too because I want you to comment on it also. Now, let's say this year, there'll be at least 100 events in this area. And so let's say if you average four DJs on a program, and maybe more, maybe less, but that's at least 400 to maybe 500 spots. And out of that, I'm going to say 80 to 90% are going to be the usual suspects. They're going to be the same people that they recycle event after event. Now, there will be some unusual suspects in there, but not so much. Okay, so let's go back to the ladies. I think ladies are overlooked a lot because as far as the people, the promoters are concerned, if they get the usual suspects, they kind of know the show, it brands it, etc. Anyway, so I said all that to say, what are your thoughts?
Annette, you want to go?
No, okay.
You want me?
No, you, Mitch, not me.
Okay.
What are your thoughts, baby?
I agree with that 1,000%. I definitely think you're going to, like you said, using the fast food reference. You walk into McDonald's, you don't even got to look at the menu. I want a number 2. You know what number 2 is. You good.
Right.
So you do know what you're going to get with using your usual suspects that you know
mm-hmm.
that you use. Do I think it's a good thing? I think it's I think it has a lot to do with the party, the venue, the event that you're doing. Mm-hmm. Change is good. You do. I think you do have to mix it up. But put it this way: I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of a card that has 5, 6, 7, 8 DJs on it. I'm not a fan of them. Normally, I walk away from them type of shows.
Okay.
That's just me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's too much. I just think it's overkill on my part. I think it's overkill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you need that. I come from the school where you go to the club. I'm playing from 9 o'clock to 4 in the morning, and that's carrying, and that's with crates.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's with crates.
Uh-huh.
Now I get it. I normally play like. Being on the radio and all like that, I normally get booked for like 2 hours.
Right.
I get it. You know, I do my 2-hour set, and normally I'm the guy that puts his hand up that I want to open. I want to go first.
Oh wow. Okay.
Most people don't want to. Yeah. Most people don't want to do that. I normally am that cat. Like I'll do first. I'll be the opener. I ain't got no problem with that. I'm fine with it.
You'll set.
Okay.
That.
No, set the pace.
Yeah. I'm good. I think it's harder. I think it's easy to walk into a club and you're the third or fourth DJ after they done drank, they're liquored up, the dance floor's warm, and you're walking in, the floor is packed already.
Right.
You can just jump into that groove and keep it moving.
Right.
I think it's harder getting them when they're cold, walking through the door. Okay, now I got to get these people on the floor.
Right.
I like that setup. That's the setups that I like.
Mm-hmm.
As far as them getting the female DJ, it's tough. You're gonna go to what you know.
Right. Rule of thumb, right?
And that's just the way it is. And could I be in that category? I'm gonna, because most of my people that I deal with are repeat customers, are people I've done events with for years that continue to use me. Right. So I'd be kind of like a hypocrite if I say, when I say, we need somebody new, I could be knocking myself out. Right. But I get it. Mm-hmm. It's tough. It is tough to break into that upper echelon of DJing. It's tough. It really is. Yes. It's tremendously tough. Right. And again, and Mitch, I because of what I do here, I talk to DJs all the time, and they've been in the game for 150 years, and even before they had electricity, they were in the game. Anyway, and and they just say that it's almost an impossible thing to do. Now it does help if you're connected, you have the right connections, because it's all about connections. Yeah, because then you can kind of, I'm going to say, skip over, for lack of a better word, a lot of those hurdles that you can jump the line. You can jump the line. That's it. That's the word I'm looking for. You can jump the line. You can jump the line, right? And we've seen it locally. And God bless them, huh? Yeah, and I say, some people hate, but I say, well, God bless them. If I had the connection, I'd jump the line too. You go. There you go. I ain't mad at them. You got to use the people you know. That's what in this business. That's what it's all about. Right. That's what it's all of. It's on who you know. It really, really is on who you know. You take. I always refer back to radio. You take people like Red Alert. Yes. Red Alert's been on radio on the air for 40 years. Right. Think of it. If Red Alert gets fired from BLS today, the block is going to pick him up tomorrow. Yes. If he gets fired from the block tomorrow, another radio station is going to pick him up. It's just when they recycle the same people. Right. It's hard for somebody new to actually come in the door because they continue to recycle the same people. That's why you got people jumping from one radio station to the next to the next. Mm-hmm. They like that familiarity. They like the people that they know what they're going to get. Right. And so it's hard for someone new to actually get a foot in the door. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I started on a street team. Got you. And had to work my way up. Mm-hmm. So it's tough. It really is tough for someone new to, as they say, it's levels to this. Right. And it is tough to climb that ladder. Mm-hmm. Wow. So, how about this? How did you get into house music as part of your programming? I kind of, like I say, started hip hop, and I'm the type of person that I like when I really, and I know it sounds cliche-ish. I like all type of music. Right. If something is a hit, it's a hit. I don't care what genre you're throwing it under. Right. I don't care what category you're listening under. I could have never heard the song before in my life. If I walk in and I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. Me having the best time I have at a party, believe it or not, is me saying to myself, what the heck is he playing right now? If I'm Shazamming you, I'm having the best time in the world. Right. If I'm trying to figure out what you playing, and I'm having the best time in the world. Okay. And that's kind of the way I fell into house, just listening to other people playing it. And I just found myself like slowly, and didn't even know what was happening, tell the truth. Just found myself slowly, as I'm playing my sets, found myself more and more playing more house stuff.
Gravity toward house.
And especially back in the day when everyone really wasn't doing it, I kind of like found myself just playing more 120 BPM stuff where everybody else is playing, you know, the 94s and the 100s. And so I kind of just fell into it and just, it snuck up on me. And I just found one day woke up and said, you know what, I think I'm a house head. Because, you know,
I am.
You know, it snuck on for me. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm there. I'm definitely, if you say you on a desert island, like what form of music do you want? House would be probably the first thing out my mouth.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah. You know. Wow. Well, have how about and after this one, I think you're going to take over on number 7. I think, is that right? Hostess with the Moses.
Yes.
Who are some of your favorite artists, like classics and today's music?
Today, artists
and classics.
Today, artists is hard.
Okay.
Classics. See, I'm not one of them ones that have a favorite. Because when I think I have a favorite, then you'll mention something. I can say like Barbara Tucker. And yeah. But what about, you know, you'll mention something, I'll be like, yeah, that's right. I forgot about her. Or so it's. I think that's tough. You know, everybody want to say who's on your Mount Rushmore of whatever. And I think it's, for me, I think it's tough. I always tell people, it's like too much music out there for me to narrow it down that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's tough.
Okay. All right.
How about yourself? You give me
Well, I was thinking of that.
Wait a minute, who is it?
Monique Bingham.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
T in the bottom.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And I'm not mad at that.
Well, I gotta say now, just so I'm clear. Now, which question do you want me to answer?
Either one.
Okay. So you want to tell me what you're telling me? Well, I will tell you my favorite house song of all time.
Okay.
And that's Mass Order, Lift Every Voice. That's my number one house song of all time. Okay. And what gets me in that song is when that lady says, "Take me away, take me away." I'm not going to sing it because I know my limitations. Anyway, but that's my number one house song, just like my number one all-time hip-hop song, because I've thought about it, and the only reason I know this answer is because of what I do. People have asked me on more than one occasion. My number one hip-hop song of all time, are you ready?
Okay.
EPMD. So what you saying? Anyway. Okay. Anyway.
And I can't, and you can't argue with either one of them choices.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm sitting back here and I'm saying, yeah, I can see that. Okay.
So, as a matter of fact, I even told my family members, I said, listen, let me clear this up. Listen, y'all can sing, let's say if I go before you, I say, you can sing a couple of hymns and all that kind of stuff. But 2 songs I want played, Mass Order, Lift Every Voice, and EPMD, So What You Saying. Those got to be played, all right? And as a matter of fact, if I have any money left over when I leave this place, you don't get it unless you play these songs.
Okay. I mean, I could say on that. Okay, so on that instance, I could say an artist that I would have to hear like Kenny Bogan would be my answer on that.
Okay.
Like anything that comes out his mouth, I think it is like amazing.
You haven't said anything wrong yet. Oh yeah. Well, you could actually do it if you think about it. Producers, artists, DJs. I mean, there's a whole bunch of categories, so it's pretty interesting. And I don't know if I've thought all that out, but those are my two top favorite songs in both genres. Anyway, So, this hostess with the mostest, why don't you jump in?
People pleaser.
I'm here for you. As we both celebrate our May birthdays.
Okay, now. Okay. Yeah. I just thought about that. My cousin's birthday.
Baby.
Yeah.
People pleaser. I'm about WBLS. I've been listening to that station since I was a child.
Okay. Makes two of us.
A quick little story. Vi Higginson. Do you remember Vi Higginson?
Of course.
They were holding an audition for the Apollo Rainbow Dancers, and I went to that audition. I didn't make it. There were 3 of us that didn't make it. We didn't make it because we were short. They wanted tall Las Vegas-looking girls with the big fan. Well, the fan was as big as I was, so there's no way I was going to be an Apollo dancer, right?
Yeah.
So Vi Higginson came downstairs. She said, I just want you all to know you're really awesome dancers. You're really, really good dancers. Don't get discouraged. You weren't chosen because of your height. You just weren't tall. That's it. Don't get discouraged. You just weren't tall enough. And then we were able to meet Sammy Davis Jr.'s mother.
Nice.
Amazing for me.
Nice.
Just a little story. So I want to talk about WBLS.
Okay.
When did you get started on WBLS? And how did you get onto WBLS?
I got started in 2011, 12, something like that, I believe. I started, it may have been earlier than that, actually. But I started on the street team. This is back when BLS would actually run commercials looking for people to work there.
Right.
And I used to hear the commercials, and I, for whatever reason, didn't pay any mind. Then finally I said, you know what, let me just throw my name in the hat. Got called to, work the street team. Did the street team for a year. As we're doing the street team, we used to go out on events, and music used to be played at all the different events. And we used to play CDs, just regular, albums of the artists or whatever.
Right.
So I said to myself, I made a mix CD, started playing at the events that I was at. It got to the point where the clients was requesting this mixed music, this mixed music. So it got to the point where I was supplying all the BLS trucks with the music. The program director, Vinnie Brown, got a wind of this. One day, somebody didn't come in one of the mixes didn't come in for the afternoon mix. He asked me if I wanted to do it. I said, yeah, I feel in. I can do it. And, I did it. And pretty much been on the air ever since then at, different times. But people think that's the only thing I do at BLS. I'm in the promotional department.
BLS.
Anytime that you pretty much hear a contest or anything like that, or you hear commercials on the air, all that's me.
Okay.
Hey.
People used to come up to the station to get their prize, and I used, for whatever reason, it could be a discrepancy, I didn't win this, that, and the other. They call me up, and I come up there, and they wait a minute, Mitch, DJ Mitch, People Pleezer, that on the air, that's you? And the all of a sudden his problem goes away. It's like, you're sitting up there, we having the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like most people don't realize that you just hear the DJs on air, but like a lot of us do different things in the station. It's not just
Right.
DJing, and so it's the radio game. It's changed. It's changed tremendously from back in the day, because you have so many different avenues on where you can listen to your music.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's a matter of, it's just like with DJing, where you go from turntables to CDs to Serato. It's the same thing with radio. It's like you got to adapt to with everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That brings me to my next question.
Mm-hmm.
What's the same or different between DJing on the radio, or DJing at a party, or DJing at a club?
Big difference. Most people think if they can DJ, you're a DJ, if you can DJ at a party or in a club, you can DJ on air. And
but there is a difference.
Complete difference. People don't realize you actually have a list of songs that you have to, it's like a guideline that you have to
keep in rotation.
Yes, that you have to fit in. Or it may be a special weekend where you're playing all Whitney Houston, or you're playing, the Michael versus Prince.
Right.
It's a whole bunch of different scenarios. It's not just walking into the club and you know what you're going to do walking into the club. It's
right.
You on the air. It's pretty much you have to figure out, okay, this song is 100 beats per minute, and the next 4 songs are 118 beats per minute, and you have to figure out on how to make all this stuff mesh and sound good. So it's
difficult?
definitely
Is that difficult?
It is difficult. It is difficult because not everything that you get is going to go with everything smoothly. Where you're at home at a party, you're doing a party, you're planning for your party. That you're doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you're going down the line, and you got your everything pre-planned and you're good. Whereas on air, it may be A, B, C, H, I, J, Z, D. It's not in order like that. So it's more challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And which do you prefer?
I prefer on air.
Okay.
Only because I prefer on air because the audience is what. Now you can sprinkle your own stuff in there. It ain't like you just got these. So you sprinkling on air because it's definitely, the audience is wider. It's broader. So you can play more stuff than me walking into a club, especially if it's one of them specialty clubs. It's a hip hop club or just a house club, or it's one of them where it's one genre, and you're sticking to that one genre. Right. Whereas on air, you can pretty much go in and out of all type different stuff. Mm-hmm. That's the difference for me, and I that's stuff that I like. Mm-hmm. And normally, the program director gives that sort of stuff to the DJs that he think can handle it. And for some strange reason, I always get stuck with doing these battles, this person against that person, or this. Well, I got to get this, or why can't I get like Chuck is just doing? It's Is
that because you can handle it?
Yeah. I think he thinks I enjoy it, which I did. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, I did. It makes you, dig a little deeper, and it makes you play more than just the the A cuts. You got to play them B sides. You gotta like, you gotta kind of know your music.
Yes. Going back to your story earlier when you were talking about giving out the prizes at the radio station, did you come up with the name, the People Pleezer? Where did that come from?
That came, believe it or not, from Biz Markie wanted to always take credit for it.
Really?
Yeah, Biz used to always say, "You always trying to please the people. Why you always got to please the people?" And it kind of just turned into the People Pleezer, and the moniker just kind of stuck. So we're gonna give him credit. We'll give him credit for it. Yeah, we'll give the BIZ credit for it.
Okay, Biz. Make the rest.
Make the music. Make the music with your mouth.
Biz.
Make the music.
Yeah, that was my man.
Nobody beats the Biz. But I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
You Mitch, the People Pleezer.
Yes.
So, Dan, you're gonna take it from
Yeah. So, like you were in the music from the door. You're on BLS, so you see all kinds of music. Where do you see house music in particular headed, from your standpoint?
Good one.
That is good. Okay. This is the way I look at that. You take the other genres of music.
Right.
You take hip hop could be up here 1 minute, could dip down a little bit, and R&B could rise up and surpass hip hop this month, and then pop could come out of anywhere, like back in the day when you had the Backstreets and the NSYNCs and all like them, and they're they're ahead. Now all of a sudden everybody's into this big country thing now with Beyonce, and the whole country thing is trying to take off. House music is always just that steady, in its groove. We're not worrying about what y'all are doing. We are just right here. We are just going to continue to do what it's just. They just even killed.
Okay.
House doesn't. I don't think house worries about what everybody else is doing.
Nope.
House just does its own thing, and it just right. House isn't worrying about being on the radio. House ain't worrying about doggone doing what everybody else is doing. House, that's the only way I can put it. It just rides. It's just even killed. It's gonna do what it's gonna do,
right?
And that's the way I look on it. So it's hard to say where it's going, because I don't see it dropping off.
Got you.
To the moon, Alice.
I don't. I just see house just continue to do whatever you think house is doing right now. I see house continue to do that.
Okay.
Answer.
You know what? Just sparked a thought in my head. House, for the most part, in terms of mainstream, like unlike, let's say, in England, where you'll hear house music in the daytime, like house music continues to be music that you play in the corner in the dark, in the middle of the night. You got to get knocked 3 times at the door, and then you're going to do a backflip, another front flip. You got to say the Hail Mary, 2 magic words, and then boom! 12 o'clock at night, you can hear it.
Right.
I mean, what is it? I mean, this as a person who's in radio, what is it going to take to get this music played in the prime time, etc.?
Regular rotation?
Yeah, or that's just wishing and hoping and dreaming.
I've had this fight with them, and it's two songs that I had this fight with them that I said. Well, 3 songs. One kind of sorta made it. Follow Me was the first one.
Okay.
I used to have to fight with them. Yo, this record needs to be in regular rotation. It sort of kind of got there a little bit. It sort of kind of got there. The next one was Wonderful.
Okay. Matter of fact,
I pleaded with the program director, like, yo, this record you have to put in, should be in regular rotation.
Right.
And the other one was Black Coffee.
Okay.
Superman.
Okay.
Superman. And I was in the and for whatever reason, and they love the records.
Right.
But for whatever reason, they just do not seem like they're, I don't know, not regular rotation worthy. And I just don't get it. I understand every house song is not going to make it.
Right.
But you have certain house songs that cross over, that, you know, become these big hits that, like, everyone likes. And those are three that I was like, yo, these records are like, I can play them for any crowd.
Right.
And they get into them. But for whatever, so I don't know what it's going to take for, I don't see a radio station going strictly house 24 hours a day.
Interesting.
You know, on regular radio.
Gotcha.
I don't know why that format hasn't been tested. I mean, every other format has been given a shot. I mean, I think if you can do like reggae, you know, across the board, and or a Spanish format or whatever. I don't know why they just fighting this. That's why I said house is just that even.
Right.
I don't care. We just going to do what we do. I have never been to a house event where it wasn't packed.
Okay. Right.
And I don't know, you know, so I just sit back. I like people watching, and I just sit back, and I'm, especially when they, you know, we have these stuff in the parks and stuff like that. I'm like, where are all these people coming from? Where are y'all getting this? Where y'all listening to this music from that y'all know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me for something that's not a regular, something you can cut the radio on every day and hear.
Yeah,
so it just has its own network. It has its followers are amazing. The people who listen to it, they are loyal to the end.
Yeah. Yes.
And I don't know what it's going to take. I really don't. I wish I had that answer. I really do.
$1 question.
Wow.
That's $1 million question.
Yeah. I wish I had that answer.
You know what else is too is interesting, and then too, I'll tell you another song that should have been played. Okay, so another song that should have been played is "Work It Out" by Charisma.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
That's it's really amazing.
Can't think of it right now.
Yeah, we're gonna get down. We're getting down to the wire here. Just had a couple quick questions. What's on the horizon for you that you could share?
I just try to stay busy. You know, everybody gives you that booked and busy, but I like to stay booked and busy with the stuff that I like doing. And the stuff that I like doing is corporate stuff, private stuff. I'm kind of shying away from the clubs. I've been there, I've done that. I leave that to everyone else. That lane is like really, really, really crowded. And I'm like, you know, y'all can have that. I mean, once in a while, I'll do a club once in a while. But corporate, like I said, private stuff, concerts, festivals, parades. Those are the stuff that I like doing. I do sound probably more than I DJ now, believe it or not.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I do sound for like a little bit of everybody. So So that's pretty much where my focus is going forward.
Okay, I'm just we're coming in for a soft landing. Yeah, name some places you've played, any final thoughts, and how do people follow and support you? So it's all questions there.
Okay, let's do. Following me is real simple. Everything is under Pleezer, Pleezzer, not spelled the regular way. Pleezzer. I've played.
Oh, okay.
Everywhere from the Garden. Being on radio is allowed me blessings where I played. I mean, the Garden, the Sony Halls, I'm trying to think, Barclays, pretty much every arena around here. So and played with the Red Alert people I grew up listening to, who now I could actually pick my phone up and call is amazing to me. It really is. It really is. So it is just blessings. I just try to, hopefully things just continue to get better for me, and like I said, just want to stay booked and busy with stuff that I want to do.
Any final thoughts?
No, just I'm gonna wish Annette a happy birthday. That's my final thought. Oh, wait a minute, I have one more. I do have one more final thought. Go Knicks. Okay. Go Knicks. Go Knicks.
All right, absolutely.
Announcement, Dan.
Huh?
I have one more announcement.
Okay.
I'm having a birthday party, another birthday party. DJ Quad's doing this with Steve Davis at the Touch Lounge on May 17th. Okay. That's my official birth date.
I'm gonna try to come. I'm gonna try to come to that.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to come to that.
So don't play with me.
No, I'm gonna try to the 17th. I'm gonna try to come. I'm gonna try to come. I will hit Quad as soon as we get off of this. I'm gonna try to come.
Tell them where you heard it too. Where you got the word. We interviewed Quad, by the way, too. Yeah. So just so you know. But, if you tell him you talked to somebody on the 8th floor. Tell him that, and he'll go right away. He's gonna know who you're talking about. Hey, people pleaser. Well, yes, listen. Let me give a big shout out to Delia. How you doing? Always a pleasure. For the record, thanks again for your continued support. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap this end up, and we're gonna go into the Shazam Free Zone. And the Shazam Free Zone, we play nothing but brand new music. I got some stingers in the lineup for you. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, just want to give Annette, say thanks a lot for coming on, and thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I am DJ Dan, Soulful House Nation, coming to you live from the 8th floor. I am the unusual suspect. This is Soulful House Nation with me and the hostess with the mostest. Get ready. We're going to continue on now with the song of the week. This one is by Anaya Weathers, and it's called Lost in Your Beat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you on the other side. The Shazam Free Zone, we not only play it, but we say it, and you get to decide. All right, thank you so much.